I am CA Rohit Kumar Singh, founder of Tax Marvel Consulting Services LLP. I welcome you to the second part of our video on new GST returns. In this video, we'll discuss on practical filing of new GST return, that is RET1, RET2, RET3, or known as monthly return, Sahaj and Sugam. The returns can be filed monthly or quarterly based on your nature of transaction, that is B2B transaction, B2C transaction, export or other transactions. We'll also discuss practically on ANX1, ANX2. Apart from that, we'll go in detail on amendment that can be filed through this return. So this is a new change that has happened, that even amendment of the return can be filed in the proposed return filing regime. So by end of this video, I am sure that you will be able to practically understand the filing process of new return. Any query you might have might also get practically answered through this video. Last but not the least, please like and share this video and also subscribe and tell your friends on our YouTube channel. So now monthly return has two parts. One is main return, that is RET1, part 2 annexure, outward ANX1, inward ANX2. In the main return, the return will get populated based on ANX1 and ANX2, and then I'll pay tax. So there are four things to it. Any main return has four parts. One, annexure 1 uploaded by me as a supplier. Annexure 2, as a recipient input I'll get. Based on that, out and in, I'll have my liability, that is your main return, and then based on liability I'll pay tax. So this is the flow of your entire return. In the main return, these are your 8 tables. Table 1 and table 2 is your basic info, means GST number, trade name, business name, return month, right? All that. Table 3 will be liability. What is liability? Normal sales, export, and liability from RCM. Simple. Same whatever we are filing today in GSTR 1 or 3B, same thing is there. Table 4, input tax credit. So input tax credit with table 4, again we'll see. Table 5, TDS and TCS credit. Table 6, interest and late fees. Table 7, payment of tax. And table 8, refund of amount from electronic cash ledger. This is not your normal refund. This is refund of cash from your electronic cash ledger. So if I have claimed any refund in a previous tax period, system will say, okay, you deposited 1000, you claimed 200 rupees refund in this period. Now we'll move on to next part, friends. What is my outward? So one is normal B2B, B2C, export with payment of tax. Then my RCM inward. RCM inward can be import of goods, import of service, right? Normal reverse charge, right? Then I will have debit note, credit note, and advances received and advances adjusted. And last, supply on which no liability, means nil rated, exempted, non-GST outward supply. Nil rated, exempted, non-GST outward supply. Now see here, friends. Table 3, outward supply. Number A, details of outward supply. Auto means based on my ANX1 uploaded, this will get auto populated. It means I have uploaded invoice details in the portal already. Based on that upload, this is auto. Wherever the auto is written, it means I cannot edit that part. It is auto populated based on ANX1. ANX1 means outward supply. What is there? B2C means supply to unregistered customer. Table 3A of form ANX1. So this will get auto populated from table 3A of ANX1. Next, taxable supply made to B2B. Table 3B of ANX1. B2B means I have my GST number. Recipient is also having GST number. From this table, understand friends, table number 2, ANX 2 of the recipient will get populated. So B2B outward supply will populate the details in ANX 2 of the recipient. Right. Next, export with payment of tax. only IGST will be reported. In case of export, only IGST will be reported. Next, export without payment of tax. Here, no liability to pay tax, only reporting is there. So, table 3C and 3D is for export ANX 1. All the details here will be ANX 1 only, because that is my outward details. Right. Next, supply to SEZ unit and developer with payment of tax and then without payment of tax. 3E, 3F of ANX 1. ANX 1 also will see what is ANX 1. Then your deemed exports, right? 3G of ANX 1. Next, liability relating to period prior to introduction of current return filing system. It means in case this return is introduced from October 2020 and there is a liability of September 20 which I did not pay. So it will not happen that that liability will get vanished. So if I have to report any liability related to previous return, GSTR 1 or 3B or whatever it is, that can be reported in number 8, right? A8, table 3A8 I can report. User entry means on my own I'll punch the figures, right? Then liability on inward supply means one on normal RCM, domestic RCM, ANX 1 table 3H. We'll go to 3H in ANX 1 also, but try to understand. Then import of service, right? 3I of ANX 1. Then debit note, credit note, advance, right? Debit note issued by, like I have issued debit note, right? From ANX 1. Credit note issued by me. Advance received, user input means here the system will not know where the advance we are receiving. So in an ANX 1 there is no table of reporting advance. So directly I'll report advance, and number 4 I'll report adjustment. So 100 I have received advance, 50 adjusted. So in number 3 I'll report 100 and number 4 I'll adjust 50, right? Again, number 5 if you'll see, it is important table, friends. Reduction in output liability on account of transition from composition to normal levy or any other reduction in liability. Again, right? So that is to be reported in table 5. Now moving on, friends. Supply on which no tax is to be paid. Supply on which no tax is to be paid. And user input. User input means the reportee will report everything here. Me, if I am filing my return, I'll just punch the figures. Exempted and nil rated supplies, non-GST supply, outward supply attracting reverse charge, supply of goods by SEZ unit developer or on bill of entry. Total will come here, right? And then E is total outward liability which is getting generated. So everything is populated from your ANX 1 and your nil rated, exempted and advanced detail I have to put on my own, or any liability previously which is there before this introduction of this return I can user input. So user input I'll put auto means figures are flowing from some other table of ANX 1, right? Now input tax credit, friends, understand carefully. So input tax credit means availed, right? Then reversal, net ITC, availed minus reversal, right? Then ITC declared during 2 months of the quarter, it is for quarterly only, right? So ITC declared in 2 months means the quarterly filer will pay tax on monthly basis and claim ITC on monthly basis, but filing of return he will do only quarterly. So month 1, month 2 of the quarter he has reported some kind of input. So total input available minus 2 month ka input, total will be your 3 month ka input, right? So that D is only for quarterly filers, D is not for your monthly filers, because for monthly filer it is only A, B and C, right? Next you see here friends, detail based on auto population from ANX 1 form of the supplier, and I can take action on ANX 2, right? So whatever accepted invoices are there which will come here, right? Number 1, credit on all documents which have been rejected in form ANX 2. Net of debit on credit note is auto populated. Credit on all documents that is kept pending, auto. Credit on all documents accepted, right? That is auto. And then eligible credit after introduction of this new return. It means this return is introduced from October 20. So any credit I forgot to take for September 20, August 20 or prior to that, I can put it in this return. It is user entry. So it is something called transitional credit. We all know that transitional credit is there, or something like 3B on provisional basis. I can report a figure. So any credit which I missed out to report in the previous return which I have already filed can be reported here, right? So detail of ITC on auto populated basis and accepted by me. So inward supply attracting reverse charge, credit will come here. Import of service, credit will come here, auto. Import of goods from 3J of ANX 1. Import of goods from 3K of ANX 1. Right? Then ISD credit, it will be auto populated. And then you see here, number 10, important to understand. Provisional ITC on document not uploaded by supplier. It means supplier forgot to upload 3 invoices for bottle and I have uploaded. So that will come here. And then upward adjustment in input credit means addition means receipt of credit note by supplier. So supplier has given a credit note to me. So my input will get reduced, right? So that will get reduced here. And total of input will be reported in table 12, right? We'll move next friends. Detail of reversal of credit. How the reversal will happen? Number 1, earlier I accepted one invoice and then supplier told they, by mistake they have reported that invoice in my return, it is of some other person. Then later on I realized, so I have made a reversal. So this credit on invoices accepted earlier, but now I have rejected it, right? Next, supplies on which credit is not eligible means ineligible ITC. Rule 42, 43 reversal will be there in 3. 2 will be 17.5. Ineligible ITC will come here. ISD ineligible credit will also come in 2. Third, reversal of credit on which provisional credit is already claimed, but T plus 2 has left and the supplier has still not uploaded the invoices. Then reversal of rule 37, 39, 42, 43. What is 37, 39, 42, 43? 37, if I don't pay my vendor within 180 days, whatever input I have claimed, I'll reverse it with interest. 39, ineligible ISD credit. 42 and 43, common credit, right? You might have already gone through this in input service, your input credit tax. Then same other reversal from composition to normal, that reversal is there. So net ITC available. Then for quarterly filers, this D is for quarterly filer only. ITC already claimed in first month and second month. So first month and second month I have already claimed ITC of 100. Total ITC is of 500. So 500 minus 100 minus 100, 300 will be there on which I will pay tax. Out of that, I have to tell separately, out of the total input credit, how much is on service, how much is on goods, right? Maybe a special requirement is there for reporting. Then TDS and TCS credit received. Credit received means I am supplying through e-commerce portal and Amazon or Flipkart is deducting TCS from my invoices. So they will file TCS or return, and then that credit I can take it here. So this is for viewing that credit. I am supplying to government, and the government entity is deducting TDS from my payments. So that TDS credit can be viewed here in table 5, right? Next friends, interest and late fee liability. Interest and late fee liability. So interest and late fee because of late reporting of invoices means outward sales. So I have reported the sales invoices in delay. So April sales invoice I reported in June. So time of supply, based on time of supply, interest is applicable. So see, I have to pay interest. Second, interest on account of reversal of input credit. I took wrong credit in the previous month, ineligible credit, I took it as eligible. Now I have to reverse it. So interest will become here 24%. Then interest on late reporting of reverse charge transaction. So we all know time of supply, reverse charge. In case of supply of service, 60 days from the date of invoice, I have to pay reverse charge liability. What if I don't pay? So if you don't pay, pay interest, right? And then other interest liability computed by the taxpayer. So the see here, number 1 system will compute. 2, 3, 4, the taxpayer will self-assess and compute. How the system will compute in number 1? Date of invoice once I put. So if I am filing return for July 2021 and I put invoice date of April 2021, system will say, okay, this April invoice you had to pay liability by May, you did not pay liability, 2 months ka interest system will add, right? Next, payment of tax. So based on this liability, so see here, tax type IGST, CGST, SGST, then tax payable, reverse charge, normal tax, tax already paid, adjustment of negative liability, paid through ITC, paid through cash. Standard like today also, but there is no column of adjustment of negative liability and tax already paid in the today's return in 3B, right? So next, refund claim from electronic cash ledger. If I have deposited some amount in electronic cash ledger and I am claiming any refund, it will come in here, right? Now we'll move on to annexure of main return. So since we have already seen your normal return, we'll go to annexure now, and it is simply same thing which we have already seen. See here, annexure of supply. So number 1, the system will ask you that do you want to select the same tables as you selected last month. So last month I selected B2B, I did not select B2C, I did not select export, I only selected B2B and RCM. System will ask you, do you want to select based on last month only 2 tables? I'll say no, I don't want to select. This month I have export liability also. So system will change it. If I'll say yes, based on last month only I'll select, system will only give me those 2 tables, right? Now see that system is asking me question. What is the question system is asking? Do you have B2C supply? Do you have B2B supply? Do you have export? Do you have advance? Based on yes and no, system will show me only those relevant tables while filing return. So while uploading annexure, system will tell me only these details, right? So this is nothing but menu selection. Now coming to your outward supply. So taxpayer detail 1 and 2 table will be auto populated, GST number, legal name and your trade name. Auto populated. Financial year tax period will be auto populated based on a drop down. Now come to your table 3A, B2C supplies, net of debit note, credit note. Table 3B, B2B supplies. Table 3C, export with payment of tax, you have already seen it. Table 3D, export without payment of tax, right? Table 3E and F, supply to SEZ developer or unit with payment of tax and without payment of tax, right? Then deemed export, and then inward supply liable to reverse charge, right? In case of inward supply liable to reverse charge, the invoice detail is not there. See here, type of invoice, date and value is not there. The gross reporting is required, right? So in case the supplier of reverse charge is registered under GST, right? In that case, I can report, right? ठीक है. Then 3I import of service, 3J import of goods, right? In case of import of service and import of goods, you see here CGST and HGST is gray. It means the system will not take CGST and HGST in case of import of service. Same way, in case of supply to SEZ without payment of tax, the entire tax column is gray. It means system will not accept any tax amount in case I select export without payment of tax, right? Then import of goods from SEZ on bill of entry. On import, I will pay tax on reverse charge, right? 3L, missing invoices on which credit has been claimed in T-2 period, means 2 months back I claimed some credit on provisional basis, supplier has not uploaded. So in that case, what will happen is it will be added to my output liability. So see here 3L in the notes, where credit is availed on missing invoices by recipient and such missing invoice is not uploaded by supplier within the prescribed period, means T+2. Such supplies may be reported by the recipient after the lapse of 2 tax period. It means it becomes my liability. It becomes my liability. Next, details of supply made through e-commerce, right? So I am supplying through an e-commerce portal. I'll report in table 4. Then number 5, HSN reporting. So for service, 6 level HSN reporting is mandatory. SSC reporting is mandatory. It will start from 9/9. It will start from 9/9. And for others, it is 4-digit HSN code reporting. And exporter and importer, going further will be 4-digit, but as of now we don't have a word on this. So we'll presume it is 4. Otherwise, as of now it is 8-digit reporting is required for export and import both, right? So this is your annexure of your outward supply, ANX 1, right? So credit and debit note issued for other than RCM transaction, and credit and debit note issued for difference in tax rate only will be reported as 0, right? So taxable value remains same. So earlier I issued an invoice for 10,000 rupees, 12% GST, but I realized GST will be 18% or 5%. So taxable value will not change, only tax rate will change. So in that case, in case of this issues, debit note, credit note will be reported taxable value 0, only tax amount will change, right? Now inward annexure. So inward annexure is nothing but everything will be auto populated. I cannot do anything. So it is important to see the star. You see here yellow star, action, accept, reject, pending. It means on all the invoices I have to take an action. Don't worry friends, if you have multiple invoices, GSTN will give you a facility of a system or a tool for taking action of the invoices. So if you have 10-20,000 invoices, you can use the tool, upload purchase register, and based on that you can take the action, right? Action can be accept, reject, or pending. If I am selecting pending, in the next return it will go as pending, and then I can accept in the next return, right? In case supplies are not eligible, you see here last table, amount of ITC claimed. So still the supplier will upload invoices, but I don't want to claim ITC. In this table 17, 18, 19, 20, I'll make it 0. Like purchase of motor vehicle for director, right? It is ineligible ITC. So the motor vehicle agency has uploaded the invoice based on my GST number, and it is now coming into my ANX 2 as ITC. What I'll do is I'll just go to this last table and I'll put the tax as 0000. It means though it is coming into my ANX 2, but I am not claiming any credit, right? Next, So supply received from registered person means B2B other than SEZ. Second, supply received from SEZ unit on bill of entry means I have to pay, I have paid GST, I will claim input credit. Then import of goods, import of goods, ISD credit received, eligible credit only will be reported here. So ISD document number, amount of credit involved, and then amount of credit availed. So your invert does not have any issue because you only have to accept, reject, or keep it pending and tell the value of input to be taken against that invoice. So if you don't take any action on accept, reject, or pending, everything will be accepted, right? So you have to tell accept, reject, or pending. Next, amendment to return. So it is very similar to current GSTR1. Once I have filed my return, I realized that or supplier has called me, the customer has called me and told, sir, you issued the invoice, but then there is a mistake. Or the customer is saying, sir, I am not able to see the invoice in ANX2. When I checked my return format, I mistakenly uploaded it into B2C. Means I have not provided GST number. Now I have to amend all these details. So system will ask me, what is the detail you want to amend? B2C, table A, table B, table C, export with payment. So any 1 to table 14 means all the details of ANX1. I'll upload it in the YouTube. You will get this recorded. Don't worry, you can see it later on also. So you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll give the link. So amendment, you can file, any table can be amended. Any table can be amended. Right. So you see here, once you select what you want to amend, system will give you the details. Right. See here, what do you want to amend? I want to amend 3A. 3A means B2C supplies. So what can you amend in B2C supplies? Left hand side is the original detail, right hand side is the revised detail. So left hand side means there is no GST number, right hand side is the GST number. It means from B2C I can reclassify that invoice to B2B. I can change place of supply, I can change rate of tax, I can change tax also. Same way B2B, I'll put the new GST number. I can also make amendment to your export with payment of tax, without payment of tax, SEZ supply, deemed export. What will happen is, by mistake I have selected export with payment of tax as without payment of tax. So subsequently, once I file my amendment return, I can file. Now important thing to note, friends, amendment return can be filed before the due date of furnishing return of September of the next year or filing of annual return, whichever is earlier. Same provision as of now it is today. Amendment can be filed 2 times only for single tax period. So if I want to file amendment for April 21, I can file twice only. So any detail incorporated in April 21 for B2B, B2C or whatever it is can be amended twice only. Right? As of now, I don't know what will happen when the actual return will get implemented. Filing process is similar to your filing of original ANX1. This is process is similar. Right? I can also amend any RCM details. I can also amend import. Any detail I can amend. Right? So activities covered through debit note or credit note cannot be or should not be reported in amendment. Amendment means if I have a power to issue debit note or credit note, I will not take the route of amendment. Right? I can directly go and issue debit note, credit note and report it in the ANX1. ANX1. But I don't want to issue debit note, credit note. I only want to amend any particular. There I can amend it using this facility. Right? So if I have already filed return for April I can do amendment anytime up to September of next year or annual return. You can always amend, and you can make amendment 2 times, not once. You can make amendment 2 times, right? Any amendment if you want to make, providing of original document number is mandatory. System will ask you what do you want to amend. I'll say no, I want to amend. System will tell you I don't know what you want to amend. Tell me what you want to amend. So I'll say I want to amend invoice number 1. So system will fetch the details of invoice number 1, and then I'll say okay, in this invoice number 1 I want to amend GST number. Okay, amend GST number. Or I want to amend rate of tax. That also can be amended. Right? Next. Same way, e-commerce portal, whatever I supplied, that amendment can be made. HSN details can also be amended. Right? Now what will happen is, I uploaded an invoice and the recipient has accepted that invoice. Can I amend that invoice? So I cannot amend any invoice which is locked by recipient. So recipient has locked and taken credit. I cannot amend. I have to go back and ask him, you unlock the invoice, then I can amend. So that we have to keep in mind. Credit note, debit note, section 34 can only be issued by supplier. Recipient cannot issue credit note or debit note. Recipient can issue credit note, debit note in case of a financial entity, financial transaction, right? Missing invoices of a tax period can be reported in current tax period regular return. Amendment should not be used for that. For missing invoices reporting, don't use the amendment table, right? So amendment of monthly return same way can be done. You see here, monthly return can be amended. So once I have amended the ANX one, the system will ask me, okay, what amendment you want to make. So monthly return can also be amended. Annexure can also be amended, right? Outward supply, inward supply can also be amended. But friends, remember one thing, because of amendment, if my liability position is changing, system will ask for interest. If I have availed 100 rupees input credit, right? So if my input credit is 100 and now it is 80, so 20 rupees system will ask you if the ITC is reduced by 20, pay tax. Friends, thank you for watching our video, and we hope that you enjoyed this learning series GST with Tax Marvel. And don't forget to share, like and subscribe our videos, and do also tell your friends or colleagues who want to make their career in GST or want to get updated on GST aspects. Thank you friends. Thank you.